Hello my friends, it's the 29th of April, Mr. Max Bliss in the southwest of France. We're noticing changes in the geoengineering program as the program develops and evolves. We're noticing shorter dissipating trails, and we're seeing a lot more of evidence of electromagnetic frequency stimulation of the atmosphere. This is in no way a normal thing. This is the spray and zap technology is what we're seeing. Oh, it makes a change, doesn't it? Little birdie. Oh, little birdie. No, it's little birdie. Makes a change from looking at all the planes committing crimes against humanity and against the planet. Ecocide. As you can see, the frequencies are there. They're changing. Within a moment, this will all change. And of course, we now see this on a daily basis. Forget it. All those fools from Metabunk trying to normalise this and say that people who are concerned about this are chemtards. Name calling, ad hominem attacks. Just saying that this is normal. Idiots. Obviously, they're either willful idiots working for the establishment, or they are plainly working for the establishment. It's quite clear. When you see this on a daily basis, this is something extraordinary. This is not normal. Not at all. It's becoming the new normal though, because it happens on a daily basis. How extreme, how bizarre does the sky have to get before people begin to realise it's being scientifically molested? It's being modified. Our atmosphere is being manipulated, and so are all the people. There's a mass deception going on, my friends, and it's all about the New World Order. It's about taking control of the water supplies of the world, the hydrological cycles. It's about covert weather and climate modification, so that the big corporations, which are really one big corporation run by the criminal global elites, can take control of all the resources. They've already got control of the governments through debt spirals, through wars and other economic strategies, and they now want control of the people. They will get control of the people if the people do not wake up and stand up. And we must stand up, my friends. We must stand up and be counted. We do not consent to this mass manipulation, this mass deception. We do not consent. We do dissent. We don't consent to this horrific deception where our weather and climate are being constantly modified as the crazy scientists get closer and closer to their goals of full spectrum domination. That's what they're after. The Anthropocene. That's the age they're looking for, where man can exert its influence over all life on this planet. But we're not talking about everyday man. We're talking about criminal, insane elitists. That's the reality of it. It's incredible for many to believe that we could even control the weather, that we could modify the weather. Yet you've got people like JFK speaking on the 25th September in 1961 to the United Nations Assembly, stating that all nations will work together to accurately predict and eventually control the weather. That's back in 61. They were very, very confident that they would be able to achieve this goal. And my friends, what we're looking at here is evidence. They are covertly controlling the weather and the climate. They can create storms. They can create floods. They can create drought. They can create earthquakes. They can stimulate and trigger volcano eruptions. Electromagnetic frequencies from huge antenna arrays like IceCat 3D, Norway. And there are many different antennas systems all around the world. And yes, of course, there's the infamous HARP and the SuperDAR network, and even the mobile phone networks. There's all sorts of methods for which they can be sending different frequencies into our atmosphere, using the conductivity of our atmosphere, changing it, spraying particles into our atmosphere against those that are awake, against our wishes. We do not consent to this. This should not be happening. It must be stopped. We don't want to be dependent on GMO foods because they've altered the climate so much. We have no choice but to accept the sustainable development option, the Agenda 21 enslavement plan. And they want to use something called the bioeconomy. That's going to create a dependency on Frankenstein foods. Because that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the Anthropocene, where these crazy, insane criminal elites can exert their will and become masters of the universe. And they even call themselves that. And believe me, they are not. They are just insane despots. It's time to wake up, my friends. We have to witness this on a daily basis. The sky is getting crazier and crazier. And we might sound more frustrated and furious. We should be hopping mad and livid that this mass deception can be going on, and yet we're asked to believe Pope Francis wants the climate treaty in December at Paris, the UN climate treaty. Pope Francis is in on the act now. We've seen Prince Charles in the past cracking on about Agenda 21, or he calls it sustainable development and climate change. Well, we all know that these are the elitist criminals, along with many others, of course, the World Bank. The World Bank is always crapping on about global warming. There is no global warming. There's been no global warming for 18 years. But there is climate manipulation and modifications. Covert weather and climate modification is going on all the time, and it has been for 100 years. It's time to wake up, my friends. We are being lied to on a daily basis. The corporations, which are the tools of these criminal elites, are set to take control of everything with the TTP treaty. They're set to take control of all the resources thanks to the Bilderberg meetings and Margaret Thatcher and all her other cohorts selling off nations' utilities and public resources, privatising them so that now we pay triple the costs, and Nathan Rothschild are very, very happy with all the privatisations that took place, because they now control everything, all the mobile phone networks, all the banks, gas, oil, electricity, you name it. They control a lot, given away by our public servants who are traitors, or were traitors since Margaret Thatcher's dead. It's time to wake up, my friends. Just have a close look at what's going on up there. Yes, frequencies have been triangulated there. That's what's happening. They're stimulating the atmosphere. Changing the atmosphere. It's time to wake up. When we see these bizarre things on a daily basis, my friends, then you've got to realise this has to be stopped, and that's up to us. Up to all of us, my friends. It is time to wake up. It's time to expose the rot, to take it to the establishment. We are not going to take this. We do not consent. We do not consent. Metabunk are shills. This is outrageous. It has to stop. Take care, my friends. Please do all your research using verifiable information. There's plenty out there. There's lots of information to dig up. You can find the history of weather and climate modification going back over 100 years. Starting point would be 1772, with a prize awarded for the best scientific method to alter the weather by the Bavarian Academy of Sciences in 1772. That's the starting point. Look up J.J. Thomson, look up Oliver Joseph Lodge, Nikola Tesla, Harry Wexler, Vladimir Swadkin, These are important names to look up. There are many more besides, many more. Vincent Schaeffer. Oh, there are so many, it's unbelievable. You have to look them up, my friends, and realise the longevity. Presidents like Lyndon Johnson, who when he was working for President JFK, was in charge of the space development, he stated that the first people to control space would control the weather. That's right, the space race was on. It's about controlling the weather for Lyndon Johnson. You got Eisenhower, he was interested in it. You got Ford, he was interested in it. Nixon. All these scientists, they were funding this. It wasn't until the NMOD treaty, following Project Popeye being finally exposed, even though it was denied, when it was exposed, they were forced to have the NMOD treaty. And that is when things started to shift. Then they realised they would have to legitimise weather and climate modification. So they came up with the idea about pollution, the scarcity of water and resources, and the threat of global warming. That was an idea. Didn't matter if it was real or not, but they would create the illusion. They would use their media tool, and they would repeat until people believed it. But it's all lies. It's engineered to look that way. It's all about a global takeover, and this is their reason. The fake global warming threat is there as a globalization tool. That's what it's about, my friends. Please do your verifiable research and share as much information as possible. Isn't it amazing? It's all gone now. All nearly gone. All natural, of course. Yeah, not really. Time to wake up, my friends. Take care. Bye for now.